I'm tight, to be honest with you guys. I mean, honestly, I thought we were all past this, right? We had all-star appearance, teams galvanizing behind the guy, everything looking chummy, and all it took was Jalen Brunson being out a few games, and Julius Randle has appeared to unravel before our very eyes. It's a shame, guys, to be honest with you, especially given the fact that myself included, along with a lot of Knicks fans, were ready to get behind the guy. And, his game has given us the freedom to be able to get behind the guy. This season, he's been incredible. And, again, we all thought that this sort of behavior was a thing of the past. Hell, I just made a video a few weeks ago, basically going into the fact that I think we can now move forward with trusting Julius, that the incident that occurred last season with the thumbs down issue, that was a thing of the past. That was all behind us. But what we watched unfold in this Clippers game last night was a telltale sign of some possible things to come. And if last night was any indication, all of this stuff that Julius Randle has talked about in the offseason, getting his mind right, getting his body right, meditating during games, all of that stuff was just pointless. Or perhaps we are the fools in this whole ordeal. Maybe all along we were going along for this ride. And all it took was a few double, triple teams and a few calls that didn't go his way for us to see the true Julius Randle come out and play last night. And what we witnessed last night is just a sign of, again, things to possibly come. Because if he is getting frustrated in a regular season game to this magnitude, like the way he did last night, then you can only imagine what's going to happen in the playoffs, because teams study you and they only play you. There's no other, we're flying to Denver tomorrow. We got to go to Detroit the next day. No. You're playing the same team for a series. So if Julius Randle doesn't figure out what's going on with his game, I don't know, maybe something he woke up on the wrong side of the bed that night, but this is going to continue to happen. The jury is already out. You don't even really have to look at the film to tell how to get Julius Randle frustrated. Just make him uncomfortable, right? Get into him, make things a lot difficult for him, and he will start losing his mind, as we saw last night. Now, looking at these stats, right? I'm not really going to come down on Julius Randle for having a bad night like this. Yes, he's been having a string of bad games over this whole 3-game losing streak. His field goal percentage has dropped significantly, especially from 3. And I knew that this was something that was going to happen. I mean, I didn't expect Julius Randle to shoot close to 45% from 3 going forward for the remainder of the season. And of course, he would, come back down to normal. But with the way he's shooting right now, 3 for 10, the last couple of games, horrible from 3-point range. And the thing that's frustrating me is that if you are having an off shooting game, adjust your game, right? Maybe take less 3-pointers, maybe penetrate the lane, draw contact, get to the free throw line. But he seems hell-bent on continuing to jack up 3-pointers and forcing the issue. And with Jalen Brunson out of the lineup right now, there's no one to sort of, keep him under control. And he just feels that without Jalen Brunson in the fold, that he can just be the orchestrator of the offense, right? Give me the ball, everybody get out of the way. But we've seen time and time again, I talked about this in my last video, or my last couple of videos, whenever Julius Randle gets the ball and he's forced in a position where he has to decision make, bad things happen. He gets the ball, he holds on to it, the double team comes, he goes for the spin move, the guy is literally about to steal the ball from him, or he collides right into him and turns the ball over. We've seen this happen, not just this season, but in seasons past, and enough is enough. Now, if you ask me, this is not just the Julius Randle problem. This is a Tom Thibodeau problem, because you have to realize what's happening, what teams are doing to your guys, and make adjustments. But lo and behold, we keep seeing the same scheme come out left and right all the time. Give it to Julius. Ever since that Boston game would quickly hit almost 40 points, I'm saying, put the ball in Quickly's hands. There's no reason why Julius Randle should be handling the ball. Look at this: 4 turnovers, 5 fouls, 4 for 23 from overall. Look at this. What are we supposed to do with this guy? Again, this is something we all look at. Even the fans are like, from the Clippers fans are like, what is going on with this guy? He's arguing with teammates again, pushing Tibbs out of the way, arguing with Fournier. No one can seem to contain this guy, right? And it's like the question that I'm asking myself, what is going on in this guy's head in real time? Doesn't he know that this is not going to work out for him? I mean, look, the Knicks are up 1 point at the end of the third. Even if you have a legit argument that the call wasn't a flagrant, right? Or whatever, get yourself in control. You have to have good self-control. And what happened? They never recovered after this point, right? When have you ever seen Tibbs go and grab Julius? He's pushing Tibbs out of the way. D. Rose tries to talk to him. Quick tries to talk to him. Everybody trying to talk to him. The only guy that seemed to really get to him was Johnny Bryant. And if Johnny Bryant is not in the picture there, who knows what's going to happen? But it's just like, what are you doing, man? I just don't get it with this guy. You know, all the goodwill that he built up over this last 2-month stretch, right? Overnight is out the window. Now fans are back on we don't trust Randle. We need to ship him out of town. He's the thumbs down Randle, right? Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Randle, right? Because in one light, he is player of the week. Going back to last week, right? He was Eastern Conference player of the week. Balling out of control. Look at his numbers, right? Speaks for itself. All-star, right? And the following week, he's back to his true self, right? Maybe this is his true self because maybe we were fooled this entire time. And we're not going to be able to build anything with this mindset. This is just cancerous to the entire team. I don't know, man. I'm at a loss for words. Something has to be done, right? And if he can't manage to get this under control, then we got a big problem ahead of us, right? Because you're only as good as your best guy. Jalen Brunson, obviously our best guy, right? But Julius Randle is definitely our second best. On some nights, he can be our first best. And if this is the version of Julius Randle that we're going to get moving forward or in the playoffs, we have some serious problems, right? And all of this has just told me, right? All of this last 3 games has just shed light on the fact of how Jalen Brunson, how much important he is to this team, right? Floor general. Julius is even going on the record and saying it himself how Jalen Brunson can keep him in line, right? I don't know what it is. Maybe he just doesn't respect, given the fact that maybe these guys are younger than he is. He doesn't respect them enough to allow them to control him or get him in order. Because I don't ever foresee any of this happening with Jalen Brunson on the floor, right? Because Jalen Brunson would just nip that in the bud immediately. But I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean, we may have a big problem. You know, looking at these numbers here, right? Now, in terms of a one game, right? This is the worst field goal percentage in one game. He's ranked number 3. You have Richie Guerin, Pat, Julius at number 3, Carmelo at number 4, and Jamal Crawford at number 5. But, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel, right, if you will, he's in some great company here on this list, right? So it's like you put up a bad game, you come up with one of the worst field goal percentages in a single game for a Knick. However, you are, you know, in company of some New York Knicks greats. So there is something to, you know, look at on the other end of it. But I just don't know. I don't get it with this guy, man. I mean, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Randle. This guy got some serious mental problems. I don't understand. Well, we got the Lakers coming up, who are balling out of control right now. I believe they're ranked at the number 1 defense in the league currently, statistically. And it's not going to get any easier. Jalen Brunson, I heard, is not going to be around for at least another couple of games. He's not expected to come back during this entire West Coast trip that was remaining. So we got to figure some things out, because teams, it's very easy to guard Julius Randle. All you got to do is send a triple team, get him out of rhythm, and he either unravels, becomes unhinged, commits turnovers, yelling at teammates, and once that happens, it's all over, right? That's the blueprint for the Knicks. It really is. So I don't know if he has to go visit a monk. I don't know if he has to, whatever he has to do it quickly, because we don't have time for this. We got like 13, 14 games left in the NBA season. We were cruising comfortably at the 5th slot. The Brooklyn Nets have surpassed us and are now the 5th seed, with us being the 6th. Miami is playing better now. They won a couple of games in a row. And we may be looking at the play-in again, right? It's that simple. So hopefully we're able to get things back in order. Hopefully Jalen Brunson comes back in time, because this guy, Julius, is a problem. And unfortunately, all the goodwill, like I mentioned, that he built up for the entire season, all that seems to have just gone out the window overnight. But in the game of sports, you can always, revitalize anything, right? You're only good as your last game. You're only as bad as your last game. So if Julius Randle turns around and, gets his mind right, has a couple of string of really good games, then maybe we can just put this to bed. But I don't like what I'm seeing, because this was not supposed to happen at all. But that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you believe that this is the real version of Julius that we saw come back last night, or if this is just, maybe he just had a bad game, got into a bit of his feelings, woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Who knows, right? But that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Catch you on a rebound. Peace.